let's start with a brief meeting, a brief prayer for this meeting. In the name of the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to be here, to be present, to start this new year. We're so excited to finally go back into the classrooms and have all these kids, and that you trust us to teach your word, your actions, your miracle. Bless all the catechists and anoint them with the power of the Holy Spirit so they can talk the talk and walk the walk. Also bless all the parents that generosity trust our kids to us, so we are able to work with them in this endeavor to teaching your word. In the name of the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Before we start, I would like to I see some of the faces. Can you please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear? Can I see some thumbs up if you can hear me right? Okay. I have a very strong Mexican accent, so don't worry. At the end of the 2 years, you will be able to understand me, all right? My wife, she always makes fun of me because she say like, neither in Spanish, English, Italian, I'm clear. So that's, sometimes I'm mobile. You know, people sometimes tell me like, we cannot understand, so you need to open your mouth. So please don't feel bad if you cannot understand something and something wasn't clear. I don't mind to go back and try to make it as clear as possible. And because of that, we have everything in writing in this beautiful PowerPoint, right? We're super excited. And last year and the year before, we never stopped classes in our parish. So I know for a fact that a lot of the parishes, they didn't have classes because of the pandemic, right? We never stopped. We were able to go back and do the classes online. And thanks to the catechists that they were so generous to learn the class dojo, the Zoom, so many different online stuff. And we were able to continue our classes. So by the second year, we were pro doing online stuff. So we incorporated, we keep some of those technology in the utilization of the evangelization in our program, that you will see what we have planned for this year. So we're super excited that we're finally fully back into the program. I think we're in a different stage of the pandemic, and we are so grateful because of that. We're still dealing with the COVID. I mean, that's a situation that is never going to go away, but I think we're in a way better position than before, and we're ready to go back. A lot of the catechists, they didn't want to teach in the middle of the pandemic, either because they didn't want to deal with the technology, or either because they were afraid of the pandemic. Now we have clean staff, bunch of returning catechists and new catechists, so we're very, very, very grateful to that. Something super important. When you call me, when you email me, please always include the name of the catechist. I always laugh because a lot of the people, they are like, "Hi, this is Fulanita, and then my kid is so and so," and the catechist is a guy or is an old lady. Doesn't help. We have around 125 catechists. We have so many different programs in our, and sometimes I try to ask more questions. I don't want to be rude, but it's really difficult if you don't give me a name of the catechist. I want to give you the right information. In order to give you the right information, we need to know more about your kid, right? Right now, we only have like 550 kids. Usually we have more at this time of the year, so I'm kind of surprised. I was expecting more kids. Still, nevertheless, we're the second biggest program in town. And it's only 2 in the office. So please help us out, and always keep in mind the name of the catechist of your son or daughter, all right? If you have more than one, you're gonna struggle a little bit, but please try to do the best as you can, learning the names of the catechists. COVID, plus that's something that we need to deal with it, and I highly emphasize continue using the face masks in our classrooms. It is highly recommended the continued using of the classrooms, the use of the face mask in the classroom and in the mask. Something that I highly recommend Please, I'm begging you, I'm asking you this, and I want to see me, my full face. Do not send your kids if they are sick. I will repeat this. Do not send your kids if they are sick. If somebody is waiting at home for results, COVID results, don't send their kids. If your kids have diarrhea and you don't know if you have contact with someone with COVID, don't send the kids. The most important is the health of everyone, including the catechists, including the kids. So please, if they are sick, don't send the catechists. Now, last year, we struggled a little bit with that. Some of the parents, they just call it, oh, we have COVID, bye, right? We skip that absent. You can pull that trick only once, right? So be clever when you call us using that excuse. All right? So just make sure, be responsible. Please help us out. We're on this together. So please, don't send them if they are sick, all right? So now we want to talk about the virtuous training. The diocese, they implemented this program that is protecting God's children. The program is called Virtus, and it's a safe environment program. This is implemented in all the dioceses of the world, and is something that the Pope Francis emphasized to have in all our programs, background checks for all the volunteers and all the adults. So super important to you to know that all the personnel that is working with the kids, they are screened and they already passed the background check. All of us, we wear some IDs in our program. We looking, where is mine? I'm placing here. We use throughout the year. So for some of you, you already signed the opt-out form. If no, the day that you drop your kid, you're gonna have to go, we're gonna have a designated table in the gym, and you're gonna pick up a bunch of forms that you need to sign and drop with your catechist. So even though that you're attending this online training, you need to complete the second part that is filling out some forms. All right, so because we always train everyone. We train the kids, we train the parents, we train the catechists, we train everyone on the virtues, the do's and don'ts. Another challenge for this office is we have around 15 ministries in the Office of Religious Formation, not only communion and confirmation. So también help me out. Sometimes it doesn't help when they say, oh, it's right there in the program. In which program? We have so many different programs. We have choirs, we have retreat teams, we have so many other different, and I'm also in charge of the safe environment training in the parish. And we have so far 2,000 something volunteers. So this is just doing that is a full-time job. So at this moment, I want to show you the video for the training that we want to show into the kids. So you know what the kids they're gonna be, and everybody needs to do the training. You need to sign that form. If you don't want for us to do this training, this video that you want to watch, you have to do it yourself. You need to sign, and we will email you the video. So I always want to start with this so you see exactly what your kids are going to learn in the classroom.
Hi, I'm Heather Mckenzie, and I want to remind you of something very important, and that is God created us all, and each of us are unique, different, and special. We're different colors, different heights, different shapes, beautifully different. But one thing's the same. God loves us all, and He wants us to be healthy, safe, and protected.
So today you will learn some things about your own body. You will learn that one way to keep yourself safe and protected is by having personal boundaries. You will also learn about personal safety rules and how to use these rules to protect yourself. Let's start by talking about personal boundaries. Each of us have different personal boundaries. Personal boundaries are like having an imaginary circle or bubble around you. and you get to decide who you allow into your personal space. It's important that you understand personal touching rules to keep your body safe. Remember,
no one has the right to cross your boundaries. No one has the right to cross your boundaries. No one has the right to cross your boundaries.
Perfect. You know what? Your whole body is private, including your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your ears, your hands, and your feet. Not just the parts of your body that are covered by a bathing suit, but your whole body. And because it's your body, and because it is private, no one, absolutely no one, has a right to touch you if it makes you feel uncomfortable, scared, or confused. After all, it's your body, right?
Right.
Right!
so let me tell you something else very important. When someone touches your body, it should be a safe touch. Safe touches are like a hug from mom or dad or your grandparents, a pat on the shoulder from a coach, and of course, a high five from a friend. But you know what? Sometimes a touch may not feel safe. It might feel uncomfortable, scary, or confusing. Nobody has the right to touch you anywhere on your body in a way that you don't want, or when you don't feel like it. Remember,
No one has the right to cross your boundaries.
even if you don't like someone touching your shoulder or giving you a hug, you have the right to ask or tell the person to stop.
Now, you'll also learn about safe and unsafe adults and children, and special safe adults. But you don't have to worry, most children and adults are safe. They won't hurt you or cross over your circle or your bubble boundary.
However, there are other people who are not safe and do unsafe things on purpose. They can even be a family member or a person you know really well. They may be kids who say they are your friends, but they may not be safe friends. At first, they may act like safe friends, but they really don't care about your safety or if you get hurt. There are also some adults we call special safe adults, such as your doctor or nurse, who may need to see or touch your private body parts to keep you healthy. Your parent or guardian should be with you during this time. At other times, your parent or guardian may help you when you can't do certain things yourself, like wash your back, put a bandage on a cut, or remove a splinter.
Now, just like in every game you play, you have to follow rules. In this lesson, you'll learn and discuss some important rules. Rules for you to remember, because these rules will help keep you safe. These safety rules are really easy and important to help you know what to do if someone breaks them.
The safety rules are very much like the safety rules for crossing the street. First, you stop at the curb. Second, you look both ways. And third, you go on the green light and stop on the red light. You wouldn't run into the street without following the safety rules, would you? Of course not.
Now, if an adult or a child crosses that circle or bubble that is your boundary, like touching you or saying something that makes you feel uncomfortable, confused, or scared, even if you know that person really well, remember the safety rules and that you have every right to say,
No! No. No. Stop that. Leave me alone. You mean I can say no to an adult?
yes, you can say no even to an adult if they are breaking the safety rules.
And if someone tries to hurt you or makes you feel uncomfortable, scared, or confused, you should also get away as fast as you can. Then tell a safe adult what happened right away. It's okay to be loud and shout if you're trying to get away from a scary situation.
Go away!
It is also important to follow the safety rules when you're using your cell phone, iPad, or if you're playing online games or watching videos. What you got?
If you see something that makes you feel uncomfortable, scared, or confused, get away and tell your parent, guardian, teacher, or other safe adult right away. It's important that you understand the personal safety rules apply all the time, whether you're communicating in person or through an online interaction or activity. If something unsafe happens to you, remember, it's not your fault. You didn't do anything to cause it. It's the job of the adults in your life to keep you safe and protected.
It's never your fault. It's never your fault. It's never your fault.
There are many people in your life who love you and want to keep you safe. And you know what? It's possible you may never come across or be around an unsafe adult or child, and that's really good. But in case it does happen, your lesson leader is going to share with you more important information about ways to keep you and your beautiful, unique body that God has given you safe and protected.
Thank you. Let's talk about a little bit more about the safety rules. And there's nothing new, right? All the kids learn this in the school, and we implement the same in our programs, right? All the people, all the volunteers that they help out in the program, they are screened and they already passed the Virtues program. If one of you want to stay in the classroom or one of you want to help in the program, they're going to have to go through this Virtues program and do the background check and stuff, and they're going to have to sign up with me in order to do that. If you are interested in either to stay in the classroom or stay as a volunteer, we love volunteers. We love parents involved and joining in accompanying the kids. However, they need to fulfill these the requirements of the diocese. Just like in a school, right? You do exactly the same in the school. So talking about safety rules, we try to keep this always public, appropriate, and non-sexual for adults to adults, kids to adults, adults to kids, kids to kids, right? It doesn't matter the age, we try to keep it as clean as possible. Talking about safety rules, we provide a little shirt, a yellow shirt for the communion, and continuing information is orange, if I'm not mistaken. And the only reason for that is the safety of the kids. Once they are in the classroom, because we don't have any problem. The problem is sometimes in the parking lot. And a lot of times we have those situations and I'm gonna give you just one example so you can help us out in order to avoid these situations. One, you always pick up your kid at the pews. So you drop the kids in the morning for the classes and we participate in the 11:30 Mass. And you need to wait until we finish the Mass and you're gonna pick up the kids by the pews. Don't tell your kids, oh, when you finish, run to the car and I will be waiting in here. Because sometimes the biggest problem that we have is in the parking lot. One time it was a confirmation day. The mom got confused with the calendar. By the way, the first day, make sure that you pick up the full calendar. It will be the copies right there. So you don't have to attend the meeting again, but make sure that you pick up the calendar and all the safety rules that we provide. You will have a long list of all the rules. You need to sign and turn it into the catechism of your son or daughter. And we have all the rules and we're gonna go over this, the guidelines of the First Holy Communion. So the kids that were in the classrooms, they were crying because it was a confirmation day, it wasn't communion. So I said, don't worry, do you know your parents' phone number? No, we don't. So I pull it out the file, call mom, and the mom say like, send them over, I'm here in the parking lot. I was like, no, ma'am, that's not gonna happen. You need to come here, sign out, and make sure that the kids are safe. No, but I'm here, send them over, I'm here in the parking lot. Like, no, ma'am, we don't gonna release any kids, you need to sign. So she finally got upset with me, and it's okay, and she was wearing her pajamas. So here is a free judgment zone. We don't gonna judge you. We don't care if you're in your pajamas. The most important is the safety of your kids. All the things that we do in our program is to ensure the safety of the kids. That's the most valuable. Your kid, when you entrust the kids to us, they are us, and we do the best in order to keep them safe. So believe me, all the rules and stuff that we have is into make sure that they are safe. And remember, because that happens last year a couple of times, there were some parents picking up kids in the middle of the mass. So that's not allowed. If something, we understand emergencies. If something like that is going to happen, they need to make sure that stop by the office or religious information with me or with my assistant or with the secretary. You need to sign out right there, and we will go and pick up the kid. Because what happens, parents sometimes they don't know where this the designated area for the kids, and they are looking and interrupting in the middle of the mass. So if it's a real emergency, please stop always into the office or religious information. And roaming is not allowed. Once we start the classes, all the adults are out. Only the ones that they are certified to be in the classrooms or in the catechist. So the parents, if you don't complete the bridge training, everybody needs to remain in my office or in the office of religious formation. Okay, let's continue with the guidance of the program. So we use a lot Class Dojo. We love Class Dojo. We started using it right after the pandemic, and it's phenomenal. I'm pretty sure that most of you use it for the school anyway. So we continue, and it's the best way to communicate with the catechism kids. So make sure little by little we've been sending the codes and adding the classes and stuff. Right now we have the men's conference, so it's been nerve-wracking for us for the office. And we have a lot of late registrations, which we are trying to get stuff done. And we have a bunch of calls and people trying to register at the last minute. We didn't say no, right? Because that's what we do. We try to say help people, but that slow a little bit the process to have everything ready for you guys. We have a back order also in the backs and some of the shirts, but don't worry. By next class, we will have everything ready for the kids. So I'm pretty sure that most of you know how it works, but if not, open the Class Dojo. The catechist will give you the code for the class. Enter the code, the name of the students, and problem solve. So the code looks like this, and little by little we send the codes by class and by roster. So we have classes every other Sunday. One Sunday we have a class in person. The other Sunday we have kind of like in class online. What I've been doing is I send the s'mores with a little video, something very short and super fun that is not going to take you anything to do it, because you don't have to do anything. Just show them the video and that's it. And they will be able to do the activities. Most of the time they are either connected to the lesson that they're going to have, or a part of the homework, or most of the time is the gospel. Something that is very attractive to the kids, so that it's easy for them to follow up. So I will be sending this, the first homework that we have, or the first video that we want to send. Father Ivan helped us out, the priest, back in those moments, he was a deacon, how to create an altar, a prayer space at home. So that's going to be the homework. So we will continue with that. So one Sunday they have classes in person, the other Sunday expect something from us online. Because you know how kids are from one day to the other day. Es más, they're going to have the classes with us, and you ask them, what did you learn? Quién sabe. They don't remember, right? So it helps, because sometimes we have classes every other Sunday, and sometimes we have holidays, so sometimes we have one class per month, and sometimes we have 3 classes per month. So that will be very helpful for us if you can assist us with that. So the first little class, this is the hall here in the middle. The parking lot is going to be crazy, because we have a 9:30 mass. We shift the masses a little bit, talking about safety. We'll implement a bunch of safety in order to sanitize the classrooms. We have hand sanitizers everywhere. We wipe all the tables, etc., etc. All that is taken for granted, right? One of the things that we want to implement, we want to keep all the 300. In the past, the main entrance was the hall. Now we split it like in 3 different entrances. So if your kids are assigned to the 300s, then your main entrance is going to be in this side. If your kids are in the 100 hall, almost the little ones that are in this area. Pre-K and first graders are in this side. First year communion, they are in this side, and second year communion and continuing formation are in this hall, in the 200 hall. That's more or less how we try to separate them. Sometimes it's hard, it depends. We always depends on how is the enrollment in the school as well. Based on the enrollment in the school is what the best that they have available for us. Sometimes we do magic in order to have all our program going on. Something that usually I start the classes is the parents are the co-creators with God, and we are the co-educators with you. Nobody, not the catechist, not me, want to replace that important task for you to teach in the faith. So we are trying to work together in this endeavor, but definitely we need to work together. And one of the coolest things that we find last year that we have the classes online, the parents were right there with them, and we noticed a sensational bond with the kid, the parent, and God. So that was fantastic, and that's something that we would like to continue working together as a family, so we can teach the faith with the kids. And remember, the faith is an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process for all of us, right? For the kids, for the parents. So all of us, we can learn at the same time. So very important, and write this down. All the kids, they need to be present in the classes. Classes start 9:30. We ask you guys to be here at 9:20. The first day of class, I highly recommend to be here at 9 because the parking lot is going to be chaos. Talking about parking lot, please learn this prayer. Hail Mary, full of grace, help me out to find a parking space because it is crazy. So because of that, I'm going to open, we call this area the blacktop, and I'm going to open this, the basketball court in order for you to park right there in this area también, because the parking lot is going to be crowded. And usually when they have two absence, the catechists, they let know the parents. We only have 50 sessions throughout the year, so 3 absent is way too much, and we will drop the kid from the program. So make sure that you plan your absentees. And talking about absentees, when you have your calendar, you will see that the Eucharistic Retreat, we try everything. Trying to plan in this parish is a hassle because it's a huge parish. And usually the big events, the important events happens in the parish. Usually the diocesan events, we have them in here. So finding dates is quite difficult task. So March 4, we have the Eucharistic Retreat for Communion 2, but also is very, we have a spring break right there in March. So please be aware of dates and your vacations and stuff, so you can coordinate and attend all the classes. Talking about the spring break. The spring break is different for some of we are right here in the middle of the 3 different school districts, plus some of the kids, they are in the Catholic school. So the Catholic school, they even have another calendar, so it's nerve-wracking. I cannot please everyone. So just be mindful of the situation, and we want to hit the beginning of the spring break for communion, and for confirmation, it's going to be the last. So make sure plan your vacations around that. The material, we provide a little bag, and I already say it, where we have a back order on the bags, but it's so much easier for us to have the kids put in their stuff in the little bag that we want to provide, so they have all the stuff together. So when I started here, like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, we have a huge problem because every Sunday in Mass, I was picking up tons of Bibles, books, and stuff. By the way, we have excellent books, pricey. So make sure that the kids, they don't lose it because it's going to be, you're going to have to pay for another set. So I was trying to find the best way to solve this issue. So we come out with a little bag so the kids, they can put all the stuff inside of the bag. What happened now is every Sunday I was with a bunch of bags. So now what we are implemented, and believe me, it works, is we're asking to have a name and a phone number inside of the bag. So if we find one bag, we can call you and say, "Hey, we have the bag of your kid. You can pick them up in here. And don't forget to bring $1. Please help us and make them pay out of the allowance." And believe me, every Sunday I was like this with a bunch of bags. When we started implementing the dollar, it was 0 or just one bag every Sunday. So just $1 makes a difference, but make them pay. That way they won't forget their stuff anymore. We also pay for the ebooks, and they are phenomenal. I would like to access just one of the books so you can see how it works. So let me show you just one of the books. Let's pick this one here. So I click in the 3rd grade parish book, and I have all the links and codes for all the books, so you have access to the book. And if you enter the password, you will have access to the book. And the books are sensational. And especially one of the things that I wanted to show you, at the end of each chapter, we have this page. It's a family and faith. So you have family and faith, and they have these online resources, but this is to be completed, or is meant to be with the family, as a family. So when you ask your kid, what did you learn? You can go back to the end of the chapter and ask them about this. So you have an idea what they learned, what they did. We have excellent catechists. Some of the catechists, they don't even use the book because they have been teaching for so long, they are so good that sometimes they don't need even the book. However, the books are age appropriate, and they are really, really good investment for the kids. And it's based on the school grade. So please make sure to explore the books. All the books at the end, they have the prayers. So even if you don't know the prayers, don't worry. You can learn the prayers, and we have a morning prayer, evening prayer, guardian angel, the act of contrition, etc., etc. So excellent materials, excellent books, and you can also access the online book. Sunday Mass. It's super important to attend the Mass. That's what we want. That's why you bring the kids in here, right? So how are they going to learn to swim? Swimming, right? You need to get into the water. So it's the same for the kids. If they are coming to the first Holy Communion, they need to attend Mass. If you are taking your kids to soccer practice, they practice, but when it's the game, they don't play. It doesn't work, right? So the kids, they need to play. They need to be participating in the Mass. So as a part of the program, the kids, they need to attend the 11:30 Mass, and we reserve a space for you and for them so they can be sitting together as a family. So what happens if you have more than one kid? We highly recommend always to sit with the smallest one that you have. So let's say if you have a 1st grader and a 4th grader, you will take the 4th grader and you will sit with the 1st grader. And at the end, just make sure to sign up so the catechists know how it's going to be the drill. All right? Usually we have 3 mandatory meetings throughout the year. This is the first one. And we have another ones close to Lent, and we have another one close to the end. So those are only 3 mandatory meetings that we ask. And but we also encourage the participation with the kids. When we don't have classes in person, you will have something to do online. Very simple. It's not required a lot. So the first assignment that you're going to have as a family is to create an altar space for the kids. Hey, one day we have a special ed kid, Lucas. He was a Down syndrome kid that he was without for 3 years. He was a lovely kid. And one day I bumped into him in Lowe's. He saw me, he ran and he hugged me. And I mean, sometimes people recognize me here in church, but in another space, I was kind of amazed about the moment. And I kneeled down and I asked Lucas, do you know who I am? Yeah, you are the church guy. And I was like, wow, what a beautiful way to describe myself, right? I'm the church guy. So it's because I'm the church guy, everybody give me crosses and stuff like that. So I have my house full of saints and crosses and stuff. But when my daughter, it was in the program and she created her own prayer space in her room, it was so special because it was her space for her to have that encounter with God. So we ask you, if you don't have a family prayer space, create one, but especially to encourage your kids to have their own space for them, so they can create this moment, so they can practice their prayers, so they can review the material, etc., etc. So some of the prayers they're going to have to memorize little by little is the sign of the cross, the Our Father, Hail Mary, the doxology, the Glory Be, and then the after contritions. The after contrition is kind of tricky because there are so many. So we provide books. So that's the one that we learn. All right. For communion too, like I said, the Eucharistic Retreat is mandatory, and I will emphasize this. For communion too, the Eucharistic Retreat is mandatory, and we already have the date. It's already approved and everything, and we have a guest speaker, excellent. And remember, the Eucharistic Retreat is the retreat for the parents and the kids, and that's going to be in March the 4th from 8 to 1 p.m. here in a parish hall. So if for something you cannot attend the retreat, you will have to find another parish to attend the communion retreat in another parish. But it's mandatory to attend the Eucharist retreat at the same time as the reconciliation retreat. Parents and sponsors meetings. I think we already mentioned this, right? We have some other platforms that I highly recommend to review or sign up or download, which is our parish app. You can find it. It's excellent. They have all the prayers. They have how to pray the rosary. They have podcasts. Excellent too. We have a Facebook page, and we use the s'mores, as you notice, and that's an excellent way to have communication with us. This is the Facebook page from the Religious Formation. Please follow us on Facebook. We have a YouTube channel with a bunch of activities, videos for the kids. It's awesome. We have cartoons already, and some of the homeworks right, they are ready for them. And let me show you some of them.
Wait, what does it say in here? I'll help you. I'll help you. I don't know. Which one? I think the one that reads. Remember the story when Jesus walks on water? Do you find it easy to trust God?
And if you click here in the playlist, you will find First Holy Communion. And we have tons.
When I started my business in 2011, I chose Wix, and it was really because the aesthetic that Wix brought to.
And this is more or less the stuff that I sent, videos that I know that the kids watch, and they are really age appropriate. They will watch. So I will be sending through Class Dojo or stuff these different material, so the kids can learn a little bit more in a easy and a fun way. That's super important, right? And if you haven't seen Father Salino dance, you are missing because you are not subscribed in our YouTube channel. So maybe towards the end I will show you one of the videos. If you don't know how to receive a communion, we have videos about that. So we have tons of different materials that we create over the pandemic, because we have that need, right? So that's why now we're using the technology, having these kind of meetings in order to help you out and assist you in that way, so you know what to do for the first day. All right. So let's continue with our meeting. Okay, something that everybody wants to know, right? How is going to work tomorrow, the drop off and the pick up and all that. So as you can see in here, we have the layout of the school. We have this is called the annex. Here is my office that most of you registered. And this is the gym, the parish hall, This is the 200 hall, and this is the 100 hall. Most of the little ones, they are in this area. So we have pre-K, first grade, A and B in the 306 and 307. Second grade, second year, A and B in this area. And then in the 100 hall, we have almost the first grade, first communion, second, third, fourth, first year, they are in this area. And second year communion, they are in the 200 hall. And here in the 207, we have a continuum formation. By the way, we still have a space for, we have around 10 more space for continuum formation and from pre-K. So I really would like to talk about and emphasize about our continuing formation program. We have a non-sacramental program. So you have more kids, if you have a third, fourth and fifth years old kid, pre-K and K, and you want them to start, we have an excellent catechist. They have so much fun. They learn a lot, and it's in a little way. And all the catechists, they want to teach the pre-K, right? And they're always fighting to be with the little ones. It's only, in order to register, you only have to fill it out the medical form. It costs $20, and they will have classes. They follow exactly the same schedule as a First Holy Communion. The $20 is just for the shirt, and we continue implementing the post safety of the kids. And we have also the kids that they already did the First Holy Communion. They can continue with the classes. So if you have other kids and you want to get rid of them on Sunday, bring over, register them for the first communion, and you can register your other kids for continuing information, even though that they already have the communion. We offer classes for continuing information, which is totally different. The program is totally different as the First Holy Communion, because in the continuing information, the kids are here because they want to be here. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of play. We have 5-6 catechists, and they only teach for 5-6 minutes, and they are in and out. They are rotating all the time. So we only teach one subject, and they are rotating. So let's say that we're talking about liturgical colors. So we have 8-10 minutes teaching about the liturgical colors. Then we have a video about that, and then we have a game about that, and then we have the snacks about that. So everything is about the same, but in a very fun, movable way. And sometimes the First Communion kids, they complain like, "Hey, why those kids are having fun? Why they are in the outside playing?" It's continuing information. It needs to be fun, and they learn, but in a different way. We have a 3 years program, so the kids, they don't repeat, or they don't learn the same every year, or it's no First Communion again and again and again, right? So if you want to register, you're still on time. We just need the medical form and $20 that you can pay later on. Okay. So that's more or less here in the hall, in this area, in this area, in this area. We will have the rosters, so you can go find your kid, which is very simple. If you have a first year, first grade, go to Communion 1, first grade, try to find your kid. You will have a class number. Just go to that classroom, drop the kid, and come back to the hall to pick up the different sheets that you need. Sign. You're going to have to sign in the hall, and that's pretty much. You don't have to stay in tomorrow's meeting, but usually the catechists, we have a dismiss of the catechists. They can have a moment with the catechist. Snacks. That's a tough one. Snacks. Last year, we didn't allow snacks in the classroom because of COVID, right? The kids, they are wearing the mask. There's no point if they are pulling their mask to have the snacks. So I highly recommend breakfast before the classes. I know it's a long day, but it is what it is. So that's what I recommend. We have another class that is a little bit difficult because, for instance, in the Spanish and the bilingual class, they start at 11:30, and they have classes. They participate in the 1:30 mass. So it's a long run for them. So what we do, we take them outside and they have the snack. So you little by little probably want to go back to the snacks when we think that is appropriate. But for the moment, my recommendation is have good breakfast before the classes, so we don't deal with that. Some of the catechists, they feel comfortable and they have snacks in the classroom, and we always ask them to wipe all the desks and take all the trash and stuff. If your kids are allergic to peanuts and stuff, all those information please provide to the catechists. We're going to have also in the halls a pickup form. So you're going to let us know who can pick up your kids. So we know we have some friends that they have all the kids in the same classroom and they have one designated driver. So we need to have, you can include all the people that you want, the neighbor, the dog, the grandma, everybody in that list to be picked up. If a person come here and is not in the list, we won't release the kid. That's super important. We have one section who you need to let us know if there's one particular person that cannot pick up the kid. We're familiarized with restraining orders and stuff like that. So please let us know if there's a situation at home that we need to be aware. You need to work together. We don't like surprises. All of us, we need to be together. We were really good about that, and we need to work together. Sometimes, because life is life, we have some divorced families, and sometimes dad is here in town, and you can see totally lost parents trying to pick up the kids. So one time we have a parent like, I'm looking for my kid. Okay, what is the name of your kid? So they give us the name of the kid, we find the kid, and I pull out the file that it wasn't in the pickup form. And I said, sorry, I cannot release the kid. Why not? I'm the dad. You can be the Pope. But if you're not in this list, I won't release. So we call mom. Mom will give us the green light. We release the kid, right? Grandparents, we love grandparents. We love to have them. And they do the whole thing, the payment and stuff. So we love them to have it in the program as well. TikTok, believe it or not, we also have a TikTok. We create content for the kids and the families. So if you can, please follow us and join us on TikTok. And thank you. Now I'm gonna open this time for questions.